Hello friends, James Stevenson and Loki, back with another edition of Tesla Charts. Not Tesla Charts, the Twitter account with the short seller from years ago who was trying to convince people that Tesla was going bankrupt. Oh no, these are charts that I, James Stevenson, make lovingly for you, dear viewer. So, is Tesla free cash flow positive? Or is Tesla struggling to produce cash, right? This is the question that's out there. By the end of this video, you will know when I share a chart that I made that has received hundreds of likes on Twitter. Literally in the hundreds of likes. So what I would like to do next is share my desktop with you and bring up this chart. Here it is. Wow, I did it already. So what I tweeted was, next time somebody shares their concern, let me do this. Next time somebody shares their concern that Tesla needs to raise money soon to fund construction of new factories, show them this. So here's the chart, and if I click on it, it's going to do the same thing again. Yeah, so let me hide me again. So here is the chart. Now, how did I get these numbers? Well, maybe I'll share that with you first. So if we go to, let me drag this over. Or, hey, I know what I'll do. Let's just do stuff on the fly. I'll just copy and paste links and stuff and drag them over. Okay, so here is Tesla's Q2 2022 update. And so you can just go to Tesla's website, which is ir.tesla.com, and find this stuff by clicking on links when they release new reports. We can scroll down here to page, I don't know, 26. Hey, here it is. Yeah. And what we can see here is that Tesla reported net cash provided by operating activities of $2,351,000,000 in Q2 of 2022. So that's pretty similar to this other number, net income, that gets reported as earnings on the income statement. But there's a bunch of changes in between, which are like non-cash items that you need to exclude, or in the case of that Bitcoin sale, you throw that out because it's not an operating cash flow. Tesla isn't in the business of buying and selling cryptocurrency, right? So you got this number, and you got this other number, capital expenditures, right here. And those are the numbers that you need to figure out whether a company is free cash flow positive or negative. If the operating cash flows are bigger than the capital expenditures number, then you have positive free cash flow. But if you're spending more on capital than your business is producing in cash flows, then your free cash flow negative. So back we go, now that you know where the numbers came from. And that's not exactly where the numbers came from, so I'll keep moving down the page a little bit and show that to you. So really, it's these numbers that I have in the graph. And really, the way that I did it was I loaded those into a spreadsheet, which is my earnings forecast model. So you can see these guys here, and then I made the chart out of these numbers right here. So if I right click on here and go to select data, you can tell that's where the data is coming from, the free cash flow and the capital spending. And what happens when you chart these this way is you stack them one on top of the other, and they make the total operating cash flows. So I'll click off that so it gets prettier. And maybe I'll go back to Twitter and show you this one. Yeah. So way back here in Q3 of 2018, the 12 trailing month free cash flow for Tesla was negative because they were spending more on capital back then than they were making, than they were producing in cash flows. But as the Model 3 ramp accelerated through the end of 2018 and into 2019, that operating cash flow became bigger than the capital spending. So these lighter, whiter bars here are the free cash flow, and the darker, grayer bars are capital spending. So you can see, even though Tesla is investing more into building factories like Giga Austin and Giga Berlin lately, over the past year or two, these free cash flow numbers, the money left over after buying all that capital, keeps growing, getting bigger, and spoiler alert, this is going to get bigger in the future. So I chased that tweet with just one more. It's a 2-tweet thread, which is not a very long thread. And I said also, over the past year, Tesla hasn't raised any money, but total assets grew by $13.4 billion, from $55.1 billion to $68.5 billion, while total liabilities grew only $2 billion, from $28.9 billion to $30.9 billion. And I put the eyes here to make sure you notice, hey, something very different has happened here between these. Assets up $13 billion, liabilities only up $2 billion. That is not normal, folks. So the way, hold on. Well, this is the most recent quarter here. I know there's this little show carrot hanging over it. I don't know why. I can't get rid of it. But yeah, total assets up from $55 billion just 1 year ago, to almost $69 billion worth of total assets, against total assets that barely moved, right? So if Tesla had had to borrow the money, their debt would have increased and these total liabilities would have increased with it, right? So if these assets had come from going to banks and borrowing money to put more cash onto the books, then it would have come with debt and finance leases net of current portion. So these numbers here would have been getting bigger, and what you can see by looking at these numbers is they are getting smaller as time goes by, down from almost 8 billion to under 3 billion. At the same time, the cash and cash equivalents have been increasing over this time. So even though Tesla has been paying down debt out of cash, cash balance has been growing. So really impressive numbers from Tesla here, really underappreciated, and now that Giga Shanghai is back to full strength, Katie, bar the door. All right, let me bring myself back. What else did I want to say here? That might be it. Let's keep these videos short and do the outro and say, if you've enjoyed today's video, click the like button. I hope you have, and it really helps out my channel if you click the like button to help other people discover that Tesla is free cash flow positive. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, you could do that by, hold on, let me cheat Sleeping Loki up into the frame here and point to the subscribe button. And click the notification bell if you want to find out when I am posting new, fresh video content to YouTube. And I will see you in the next one.